Daily Dozen, Episode 1 for the 2015 season. Scout.com's Jason Jewell. I'm Jared Cohen. We normally bring you the recruiting roundup powered by Rock and Refuel Varsity. Right now, we're spotlighting the players to watch going into the 2015 season. Alphabetical order. I'm going to start because I'm cool like that. Walker Adams, Brophy, the first guy we're mentioning. Missed all of last season because of an injury, but this guy is a stud linebacker. This Brophy's defense is going to be nails next to Connor Murphy and Dante Diaz-Infante. Walker Adams going to be one of the leaders, and he's going to be one of the comeback stories of the 2015 season.
Of course, I would start with an offensive lineman. I'm going Stephen Bailey out of Centennial High School. Centennial has, hands down, the best offensive line in the state, and Bailey, heavily recruited, has multiple offers right now, approaching almost 10. Guy 6'2", 285 pounds. Guy plays right guard now, but I think he's a center at the next level.
There's a new face for Chaparral at quarterback. Sean Paul Brophy. It felt like he was there forever. The new guy, Grayson Berry. We saw Berry get some reps last season, especially in the playoffs, taking over for an injured Sean Paul Brophy, but now it is his job. He takes over, has some great speed on the outside. Chaparral, every year, one of the top programs in the state, and a new level now. They're at Division I. Berry, the first quarterback for Chaparral at the Division I level.
I'm going to go two guys in a row, both playing the same position, both long snappers at that. Adam Bay at Desert Ridge, Turner Bernard at Mountain Ridge High School. Arizona's kind of known as a long snapping state. There's been a bunch of kids going on, playing in Division I football, playing in the NFL, and these two are two of the best in the state. You look at a guy like Bernard, already has an offer from the University of Utah, which is, very hard to get an offer as a long snapper. A lot of those times those kids are just going to go and walk on. And then Bay, one of the top underclassmen ranked by Chris Rubio, and he's a long snapping guru.
The number 6 guy on this episode, Macarius Blunt. Last year, Fairfax running back, 700 yards rushing, second team all-section. He has transferred to Mountain Point. Mountain Point has 3 running backs from last year playing at the next level. Blunt is going to be the guy for the Pride. You know they love to run the football, so he expects to have a big season.
I'm going to do 2 in a row again. The first one, I'm going to start way down in Tucson at kind of a sleeper school, Pueblo High School. A guy that I really like, Josiah Booth, plays center, plays defensive tackle, was all section last year on both sides of the ball. I think he's a center at the next level. You watch his huddle tape, and he's just really good. Gets downfield, makes blocks, blows up guys, just loves to play football, and you can see it from his tape. Then I look over at Greenway High School. I'm going 2 in a row again. Jacob Brecken, another offensive lineman, offensive tackle, 6'6", 285 pounds. Those guys just aren't walking around. They don't grow on trees like that. So Brecken already has an early Division II offer. I expect him to get some more offers as the season progresses.
Number 10 on this episode, Daniel Bridge-Gadd, Paradise Valley High School. 41 touchdowns last season, 5 rushing touchdowns, 2,800 total yards of offense. Has offers from schools like UNLV, New Mexico State, Eastern Washington. This guy is one of the best quarterbacks in Arizona. He is a blast to watch, and there's going to be another guy in this episode that he's going to throw to that we'll talk about in a second. But first,
Robert Brooks, Brophy High School wide receiver, only going to be a junior. He's a guy that's going to be my breakout prospect for the state of Arizona. Already has an early offer from the University of Washington. I did my wide receiver rankings for Scout recently, ranked on the number 10 wide receiver in the state. Didn't have great statistics last year, caught less than 20 balls, but I expect him to be a household name before he graduates high school.
Speaking of wide receivers, but going back to Paradise Valley, as I mentioned, Jacob Brown. And this guy is an absolute monster. He is the leader for the Trojans. 19 touchdowns, was among the state's leaders in receiving touchdowns last season. He is committed to South Dakota State, and this is one of the most dynamic playmakers on both sides of the ball that Arizona has to offer. And finally, to wrap up episode 1, Jason,
I'm going to go Jason Brown down at Sholo High School, one of the top small schools in the state. He's a middle linebacker. Was only a sophomore last year. Was one of the state's leaders in tackles, had 153 tackles last year. I went out to Sholo for their spring ball, was very impressed. Brown is a very good-looking kid who, again, I expect to lead the state in tackles, especially at that small school level.
Just off and running. That's episode 1 of the 2015 Daily Dozen.